Due to coherent actions of the 5th Separate Assault Brigade of the Ukrainian Ground Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Russian invaders had to reduce their offensive potential in Bakhmut sector. Senior Lieutenant, Deputy Commander of the Assault Battalion of the 5th Separate Assault Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Oleksiy Tarasenko, said on the air of the Freedom TV channel that such Russian invaders' actions are related to their heavy losses over past 2 weeks. Any attempt of advancement is followed by a high number of losses for Russians. For every 10 meters of seized Ukrainian land, they pay a heavy price. The battalion, where Oleksiy Tarasenko serves, eliminates 15 to 20 occupiers a day on a very narrow section of the front line with the help of artillery, as well as the DJI Mavic drones that drop various types of ammunition on the occupiers. Russian losses can reach hundreds or even 1,000 of people in a week. The senior lieutenant noted that the front line has stabilized a bit. The armed forces of Ukraine have taken up their second line of defense, which was prepared in advance. And now it all comes down to artillery shelling and small arms combats as well, informed the deputy commander of the assault battalion. According to Tarasenko, Russian invaders have not managed to break through the defense of Ukrainian troops anywhere. And the areas where the occupation forces were successful, the defenders of Ukraine steadily withdrew by 50 to 100 meters, retaining the front line. It was very difficult for the occupiers, because their infantry worked without armor. The serviceman believes that the offensive potential of Russian army has decreased a bit near Bakhmut, either due to the enemy's regrouping or due to the expectation of replenishment in equipment. Meanwhile, after regrouping for about 2 weeks, Russian troops have attacked Ukrainian positions near Avdiivka again, resulting in intense combat as Ukrainians beat back Russian assaults on the town. Ukrainian fighters from the 47th Brigade recently posted a video showing how they spotted one such assault unit that tried to hide in the basement. Ukrainians sent a Bradley to the region and simply demolished the entrance to the basement, burying all Russians under the rubble. Bradley vehicles have proved to be well-suited and effective on this front line. Despite the challenging weather conditions, the abundant combat videos featuring it in offensive as well as defensive operations suggest that it has no problem getting to the contact line. A Ukrainian drone filmed Stepo from above, showing the scale of destruction. As you can see, virtually every square meter has a shell crater, and the buildings are either severely damaged or completely leveled with the ground. This makes it very difficult to understand how any party can claim control over the village or maintain a permanent presence inside. Closer footage showed that there are a lot of dugouts, holes, and trenches in the tree lines and in the village itself. Usually, there is one big trench with at least one shelter, which is surrounded by a lot of dugouts, which allows to disperse when facing an attack, giving Russians less tactical freedom. These trenches in the gray zone are precisely where Russians are trying to establish their positions by sneaking in at night. As I showed you last time, Ukrainians are detecting them with thermal cameras and destroying them with mines. That is why many of these holes are full of corpses, reducing the number of vacant holes and not allowing the new batches of Russians to find somewhere to hide. Moreover, Ukrainian fighters from the 47th Brigade reported that they recently received a new delivery of drones, so the Stepov area became even deadlier. Nonetheless, Russians recently conducted a series of mechanized assaults. Judging by the fresh footage of burning equipment, Russian forces engaged at least 4 tanks and armored fighting vehicles in their attacks. So it seems like Russians continue using small columns to prevent early detection and massive losses. And this tactic proved to be more successful because, this time, even though some vehicles were destroyed en route, some of them even managed to reach the outskirts of the village. The outskirts were completely leveled with the ground, however, so the infantry had nowhere to hide and immediately ran toward the holes and trenches in the tree line.